Coach's Corner with Coach John Limbaugh, head football coach and athletic director of the Fayetteville Wolves, joining us this morning. Presented by Lori Darlings in Fayetteville, Alabama and Childersburg, Alabama. And one thing for sure, you know, no matter what kind of day we're having, it's going to be a great meal at Lori Darling's.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great meal. They do a great job for us, and looking forward this evening to some hamburger steaks. So
you know, people come from all over the area to eat at Lori Darling's.
Oh, sure, absolutely. It's well known. People drive for good distances to get there, absolutely.
Well, last Friday night, the score doesn't really give credence to how close, especially the first half was. You were telling me that you guys were going in for a score you thought to be able to tie the game right before halftime. Walk us through it.
Well, it happens to a lot of people. It happened in Alabama this past weekend against Ole Miss. We drove the ball really well and went down there about the score, and we fumbled the snap, and it gets back there on the 10, and we go from the 3 to the 10, and the next thing you know, we're trying to kick a field goal. We're hoping to make it 28 up or 28-26, and next thing you know, we're kicking a field goal, and it gets blocked. So, but that's how we went into the half, 28-20. But
you had to feel good going into halftime.
We did. Our kids were excited. The momentum was headed our direction, and you know, for whatever reason, we go out the second half, and Isabella made adjustments, and the yarn just came unraveled, and things didn't look good for us the second half. But I tell you what, our team continued to play. They never quit. They continued to play hard, and the ball game ended up lopsided 67-33, but didn't indicate what really happened.
You would have never thought. Yeah. By less than a touchdown at halftime, and get rolled away in the second half.
We made some mistakes in the kicking game again, and gave up a late. Our third-string quarterback got in there and did a great job. Don't get me wrong; he threw one great touchdown pass, dropped it right in there, but threw a pick, and that's going to happen. And we thought it looked like right before the snap it was going to happen, and it surely did. But those things happen, and you can't attribute all those 67 to defense. It didn't happen. We had some kids that actually played quite well on defense.
Well, let's talk about the first half. I mean, Isabella's a solid football team, too.
Absolutely they are. They're really tough, really solid team. And I thought we were handling it real well. I thought our offensive line blocked really well. Number 14 for us, Cam Hammonds, played a great ball game. We were running that ball more or less at will. We were running the ball, and Jimmy, he had 21 carries and 212 yards.
Oh, wow. You win football game with that,
absolutely,
you
think? Three touchdowns, and he ran one kickoff back for a touchdown, ran about 70 yards for it. And so he had 300-something all-purpose yards. He had a whale of a ball game, and it still wasn't enough for us to overcome. We got to learn Jimmy to play for 48 minutes. 100% of the time, 100% effort for 48 minutes. We've been playing a half here and there. I think we played a half a ball game against Birmingham and won that one. But I feel like we've got to play the whole game and accomplish our goals and play the whole game, execute on offense, execute on defense.
You talk about number 14 having a game.
Oh, he had a game.
I mean, that's a season for a lot of people.
Yes, he's quite a unique player. He's got a lot of grit and determination, but he loves the game and works hard. He's one of those that goes out there on the weekends and works on the field on his running and stamina and works out on the weights. And he's just a great kid. He's hungry. He wants more, and he's going to get more. He's one of those kids that can play at the next level. He's only a sophomore.
Wow. This week, it's Horseshoe Bend on the road, down Highway 22, and I mentioned to Coach Limbaugh that's deer and pulpwood trucks most of the way down Highway 22. Horseshoe Bend's got a rich tradition. Their football team is not reflective of that so far this season. A lot of people think Fayetteville should get the W tonight, but you're more concerned about this Fayetteville team than you are Horseshoe Bend.
Well, we got to take care of us first. You're exactly right. We've got to fix us and our difficulties and our problems, and we've been working toward that end and doing a great job of it. But don't allow Horseshoe Bend to pull the wool over your eyes, so to speak, because Horseshoe Bend's a good football team. They've been playing the likes of, Reeltown and Highland Home, and teams like this that are ranked very high in our 2A standings. So they've been playing some really, really difficult football teams, as Fayetteville has too. But they've been playing some really difficult football teams and some good teams. And Coach Phillips has the Generals ready to play. Jimmy, it's their homecoming. The floats will be out. The dance will be on. And these kids are going to be excited about the ball game. They're going to get a win. And they're a very formidable opponent in that they'll get the wishbone. They'll let the bone roll. They'll get the wishbone. They'll get two tights, and they'll try to run the ball right down the middle.
So how do you defend a wishbone with two tight ends?
You get more people in the box, and you watch those tight ends going out for passes. You watch a pass out of the backfield. You ready your kids for it, and you practice against it. And I'm old school. Hey, I can run the wishbone all day long. I'm old school. And wishbone eye, that's kind of good stuff I like. But they'll also spread it out, Jimmy. They'll get get wide outs out there, and they'll come at you throwing the ball too. And they had a very, very good running back. Number 2 is a good one. And he put some yards on us last year. And he's going to try to do the same thing this year. Our defense just got to bow up and not accept that and make stops and get their offense off the field.
You know, you think about Isabella and the fantastic first half you played before it got away from you in the second half. How can that affect the mentality of a young high school football player?
Well, they're a different animal, high schoolers. I think it affects me, and on a Saturday, I'm really no good for anyone on a Saturday. My wife can tell you that, but really and truly our kids are resilient. They bounce back. We had a good week of practice this week, and our kids are into it. They're not dragging their head at all. We were talking to our seniors coach Jax and I last night. We feed them on Thursdays, have some senior time with them. And they're excited about the ball game. They're ready to go play. They're ready to prove themselves and get out there on the gridiron again. And so we're excited about our seniors and what they bring to the table. And it just takes flipping the switch. It's just that switch has to be flipped. That it's got things that's just got to turn over for us. And when that happens, we're going to be okay.
You keep an eye out on the JV team and the underclassmen and stuff like that. How is the future looking for Fayetteville athletics?
Very, very, very bright. Well, Coach Shearer is doing a great job. He's a new hire this year, and he does a great job with our young guys. And we won some good ball games with them this year. Had some, beat Chilsburg, beat B.B. Comer, lost a couple games too. But learning to ready a team, learning to have a team to play in the way that, I wanted to bring God glory and make good grades in class. So those are the years of teaching and molding and making a young man into a ball player. And Coach Shearer's doing a great job of that, absolutely.
What about a young guy on your football team that maybe is unheralded, but they show up day in and day out?
Well, I think, you're talking about a young guy on our football team, but I'd also, I could say several of our young guys. Ty Stone's the one that comes to mind, playing offensive line for us. He's a ninth grader doing a great job, but move up in class a little bit. And Landon Payton, he's like a utility player for us. He can play different positions and things like that, and he's played quarterback for us. We've moved him around on the offense a little bit at running back, mostly at receiver positions, but on defense, we've moved him from secondary, and he's playing now defensive end. And we think he did an outstanding job of containment last week against Isabella. So he'll have that opportunity again this week. So he's really done a good job there, and for us, we were very, very appreciative of that.
How challenging is it, Coach, for a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid to play both ways in high school football?
Oh, well, we're used to that at Fayetteville. I wish we had enough of players. We line up a couple weeks ago against Vincent, and they've got 51 across the sidelines. We got about 30. So it's a difference.
And that makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. Our kids are in shape. They're young. I remember when I played, I never wanted to come out of the game. I just enjoyed being out there, and so do our kids. They enjoy being out there, but it is a difficult situation sometimes to go both ways and go the whole game, and I think that's a little bit that attributes to our second half difficulty sometimes, as those players are out there for so long against teams that can send someone else in the ball game and keep fresh legs out there.
There'll be a lot of 61 county tags headed down 22 to Horseshoe Bend. Fayetteville always travels well.
It's amazing. We were at a JV game. I won't say where, but we were at a JV game Tuesday, and I look at the stands, and we're beating them 3-1 on numbers. We're beating them 3-1. We got all kind of people in the stands watching our JV guys play ball, and we travel so well. I'm so appreciative of our fans. Love every one of them to death, and it's just a big family at Fayetteville. It really is.
All right, down in East Alabama tonight, it'll be Horseshoe Bend hosting the Fayetteville Wolves. Coach John Limbaugh will join us again next week. Coach, good luck tonight, and have a fantastic weekend. Let's get a W tonight.
Thank you, Jimmy. Go Wolves.
All right, more daybreak coming up. The Coach John Limbaugh Show brought to you by Lori Darlings in Fayetteville and Childersburg.